Welcome to Keller, Texas, as we get ready for the Texas Rugby Union Championship match here for the D4 men's division between Fort Worth and Houston. A nice warm day, breezy day out here in Keller. I'm going to be your play-by-play announcer, Mike Davis, and got a high ceiling kickoff. Before take by Fort Worth. Goes.
Yeah, we're going to have room.
Fort Worth going wide with it.
I think they just chose to be in the dugout.
I told them earlier that they had to.
Yeah, we did.
Brought down outside the 10-meter line. Fort Worth takes it up the middle. We're underway here. Keller. Back out to Ian. Brought down. Fort Worth gets set up, gets back on side. To Robert, takes it wide. Ball goes out. We got offsides on Houston. Fort Worth finished their season with 8-2 with 42 points in their division. A nice power run up the middle. Fort Worth trying to make use of the outside. Come back up the middle again. The middle to Ashton. Back out wide. Extending a nice drive early on in this match. Ashton again. Stonewalled in the middle. This ball knocked forward, picked up by Houston. So as Houston goes on an attack, and wants a knock on. An opportunity there with Fort Worth losing control of the ball. But they weren't unable to get any momentum going as they knocked on.
It is now.
And we'll have our first scrum of the match. So 37 minutes to go here in the first half. No score either way. By Fort Worth, Houston. And as they try to go out wide with it, picked up by Fort Worth.
Yes. And the scoreboard, home will be left, who starts on the left, right will be on the guest. Always, okay? Right. Left will always be this side, the home will always be who starts this side, and guest will be who starts this right side.
So Fort Worth inching closer. At the 22-meter line.
Okay.
As they come back towards the near side. We got another whistle here. 36 minutes left here. Fort Worth driving. Trying to get the first points of the game. Breezy day for some rugby. Houston wins the scrum, takes it on the far side. Ball's loose again on the ground. control of the ball.
Keep it in. Dart on. Drop. Further.
And we'll get our first line out, way out. So we're near the parking lot.
Ryan, get up. Take the ball.
Houston want to throw it in. 22-meter line and the 10-meter line. All won by Fort Worth. Now another scrum awarded.
Hey, good job, Ryan.
So far, Houston really hadn't been able to get anything going to try to swing the momentum their way and get out of there into the zone. From Houston's exit. That's going to be kept down the middle. He's 25 down past the 10-meter line. Houston gets set. Drives up the middle. So Houston's finally into Fort Worth territory, just crossing the halfway line. Ball tried to form, but didn't quite happen. Then goes wide, not too wide. Have his name for Houston got drugged down. So Houston on the attack now. Getting a little momentum going. Justin pushes his way in. Fort Worth quick on the attack. Might have came in a little bit too early. Sides call. They'll take the line out at the 22. 32 minutes to go here, no score. The Texas Rugby Union Championship. Got Fort Worth going from your left to right in the green and gold trim. Houston wearing the blue and red jerseys. Their second line of the game. Trying to get some points on the board here. And the line out goes wide, and that's won by Fort Worth. And they'll go on the attack inside their 22. Tries to kick it deep. Kind of went off the foot. Wind is going to be a factor here in the kicking game. Sometimes we get a nice gust. And that it changes directions on the ball pretty quickly. I don't think he was trying to do that. Just went off the side of his foot. So Houston with the throw-in. So far, Fort Worth has won both the throw-ins. See if they can go 3 for 3. Maintain possession. Ball's up and won again by Fort Worth, so they're timing the line out pretty well. We got an illegal tackle. Fort taps it in, maintains possession. Big man Brian with it in the middle. Oh, he's finally brought down. Tries to go out wide. Ball gets loose. Back past the 10. Fort Worth goes wide with it. So maybe 4 times the charm for Houston as they've lost all 3 line ins. .30 left here in the first half, no score. We got a nice little back and forth battle early on. And Ford again comes away with it. They try to push the attack to the outside. Working the wings, they're just going to punt it out, and again, it doesn't go where it wants to go. It goes out at right about the 10-meter line. Look at another for Houston. I hope the wind's playing a factor with the throw-in as the ball tends to favor towards the Fort Worth side every time they throw it in. So again, Fort Worth comes away with it. Ball comes out towards Houston. They pick it up. Set up for the scrum at the 10-meter. Houston hasn't really been able to get anything going much in the possession here. It's Fort Worth win at the scrum. Towards his near side. Still on his feet. Number 8 with it. Fort Worth calling their set play. Powers it up the middle. They've been maintaining a middle attack mainly this first half. Again, the Bryant. Go back to the near side again. We'll probably bring down Paul. We have that one for Fort Worth. Nicholas over towards Ryan. Breaks away, knocks on. Picked up by Houston as they come the other way with it. Still on his feet. Finally brought down over to the number 8. As he goes down, as Houston tries to go with it. Finally releases. Staying with it on the near side. That's Derek with it on the line. Brought down. As Houston begins their push forward here. Houston's going out wide with it. Pass doesn't quite get there, but it's finally picked up. The fly half. Out wide with it again. Houston getting a little momentum going here in the first half. 27 minutes to go, no score. And that pass goes to nobody, but finally picked up. Houston trying to control possession right now. Takes it up the middle. Trying to grab her, but didn't go anywhere. Off a forward attacker for the knock on.
Play down the sidelines here. Simple, good rugby. Keep that up.
We get it set up for the scrum here. Fort Worth has been doing a nice job of controlling the ball. Works it around to the left side. Still with it. Houston will get it. We'll go for the line out. Nice kick, gets him deep inside forward the zone. Out towards the cars out there in the parking lot. What a nice start to the TRU Rugby Championship. This is the inaugural championship for the D4 men's division. So again, Houston gets set. Finally wins their first throw-in. Gets the ball going. We'll get another whistle here. Stop action. Play started again. Tries to run it up the middle. He's just trying to get a push going here to get the first points of the game. Fort Worth had a nice power game up front. He's just trying to maintain control of possession here. Trying to keep it inside. They continue to push. Only a couple of meters off the end line now. Goal line. And we'll get a turnover here as Fort Worth's going to get it. So kicks it on. Over to Brawl. And he's brought down just shy as Houston is making it away to the touchline. Out wide. Pushing his way in. That's Mitchell trying to find his way in for the first score. Just to back over. And he gets held up at just outside the touchline to maintain the attack up the middle. Having good success going over the middle. Not trying to go too wide with it. And just as I say that, it's the direction they go. Over to Justin again, brought down. Boys doing their best to hold up scrum half. And he doesn't get the momentum he needs to get in. So Houston continues to push. But we're doing a good job of locking up and not letting them get anywhere. Fort Worth gets possession of it. They're tied up deep in their own end. They're going to have to get the ball out of their zone to play field advantage here, but the last two times they've done that, it went out of bounds. It didn't go in their favor. Fort Worth is going to get the chance to clear it here. Got to adjust for that wind. It's blowing hard to the near side of the field. Wise, he goes the opposite way, but went to the same result. Kind of a crosswind. Anything going up the middle is going to blow it back towards the camera area, towards this side of the field. So Houston made a nice push there. Fort Worth locked up and wasn't given any ground. Able to come up with a nice stop. 20 minutes to go here in the first half. No score either way. Fort Worth trying to make some space here. Goes wide with it. Shot brought down. But Justin going the opposite way. Houston holds the line here, trying to maintain nice field position.
Come up, come up, come up!
Up the middle with it, Darden. He's still on his feet, trying to swing him down, but he does not want to go down. Well, he brought down in the middle of the field. And tries to kick it from field position, about 10 yards out. Picked up by Houston. We'll get a whistle here.
Let me know if you guys have any questions.
Obstruction was the call on that one. Fort Worth will go for the line out. I'll get it about the 10-meter line on Houston's side of the field. Fort Worth trying to get something started here as Houston has maintained possession in the forward zone for most of this half. We've still got 19 minutes to go here. Forward gets it. Saying the pass wasn't straight, looks like. We'll give it a go again with Houston throwing it in. Heat beaten down. It's not too hot. Not a normal Texas heat. It's still hot if you're out there on the field. It's picked up by Trey. Trots to the middle. And the ball kicks out Houston's way. Nicholas is going to touch it in as Fort Worth gets set here. That's Logan going to try to get it try to get it deep. Again, that ball is sailing wide, not kind of going too far. I know he's trying to get inside a little bit deeper than that. But all the meters count here. We move down the field. So Fort Worth trying to get a drive started here themselves as Houston had their shot early on, but wasn't able to capitalize. The Fort Worth defense was standing strong to keep the score 0-0. Won by Fort Worth. Has been the MO for the game. This is pretty much his first half. Out wide with it. Got some space to run up the middle. Brian. Pretty much the big man here of Fort Worth. Very nimble, able to get up the middle of the field. They continue wide with it. Down the far side.
Hey, Tony!
Another whistle. Near the 22. Not quite sure what they called on that. Might have got in touch. Excuse me. So we'll get a scrum down on the far side for Houston. Pretty evenly matched. Nobody on the Type 5 really controlling the other side. Houston can just kick it down. Again, with this wind, that ball's really not going too far. So throwing for Fort Worth has been their specialty in this game, the first half. Been successful on all of the throw-ins except for one. That's one way for them to maintain possession here with 15 to go before we get our first break. And over to Brian. Tosses it back, goes wide with it to Robert. Keeps it on the inside, up the middle. Back over to the far side. I don't know who that was, but whoever it was powers it down. They try to drive it now. Worth inching closer. Up the middle, back over to Brian. Brian down forward, getting closer, get the first points here. And there's a shot. Not quite in yet. Looking for the first touch of the game. First try of the game, excuse me. And it looks like it is. In there at 14 minutes. Haven't got the signal yet, no signal. No, they didn't call him in. So no try for Fort Worth. 13 to go. Got a couple of opportunities for both teams. Nobody's able to capitalize. Fort Worth maintains the scrum. There he goes. Picked up by Arnold. Tries to power his way, but he's pushed back. He drives forward. Still not quite there yet. Waiting for the signal. Ford's going to try to win. They're going to try to win this one up the middle. See who has possession of it, but they push forward. Got a low angle, so I can't see how far off the try line they are. Out wide to Ashton. He's pushed back by a couple of Houston defenders. Got to be more than a couple of meters away. Knocking to himself, trying to go right with it. Brought down. Finally in there for the touch, for the try. So here's Fort Worth scores the first one's on the board here. Go in the first half. Fort Worth gets the first try of the game. The first 5 points. Trying to tack on 2 more with the conversion. Took a minute to get there, but finally they were able to push their way. Get the first points of the game. It's been a hard-fought battle this whole first half as nobody was trying to give an inch either way. So 5-0 to score here. Logan's going to try to tack on an extra 2 points. With this win, this might be a difficult feat. Logan. He'll be kicking into the wind. Just as he gets set up, the wind picks up. As you can probably hear on your microphone or speaker. And that's going to be very wide. So 10 minutes to go. Fort Worth is leading this one 5-0 in the Texas Rugby Union Championship Division 4 men's final. Don't forget to stay tuned. TRU YouTube channel. I'm struggling to find the word YouTube in that sentence, as we have a few more games for you. We've got the D3 Women's Exhibition game coming up here at 5:30, and then the D4 game for second place at 6 o'clock after that. It's picked up by Ryan, taken down on the near side. Forwards are going to try to continue the momentum they had, build on this 5-0 lead that they have. About 9 minutes to go in the first half. Ball's fumbled around, picked up and kept, dummy pass, finally gets it over and brought down. Keeps it inside. We get a break in this bright sky day with a little cloud cover. And ball almost intercepted by Houston, maintained by Fort Worth as they get a little breakaway down the far side into the Houston zone on the right. Still on his feet. Brought down, I don't have the advantage to see the numbers from this far away. We're pretty much level with the playing field. Sean with it now, up the middle. And in there for the try. So a nice breakout play. They just use their speed on the outside for Fort Worth. And now they lead this one 10-0 with 8 minutes to go. They went for the inside press, but everything opened up for Fort Worth on the outside. Houston did have a stab at it, missed the turnover just by a few steps.
Bring one in. All right. Boom!
Bring your card.
So again, with 8 minutes to go here, they're going to try to tack on the conversion. Conversion is up and good, so he nails it from the other side. Tack on the extra 2 points, 12-0 Fort Worth leads this one with 7 to go. The first half of the TRU Championship D4 division. This is the first annual inaugural season for this division. So Houston set to kick off here. High sailing kick. Picked up by Paul Thomas. Forward out with it. Tries to go back up the middle.
Houston hard. Go.
The penalty in Houston's favor. I'll be looking into kick it somewhere inside the 22 here. They try to get on the board before time expires. 6 minutes to go. The first half. Most of the first half is pretty much back and forth battle between these two teams. Finally, Fort Worth was able to break the 0-0 tie. The try. And then on the ensuing possession, quickly raised the score up 12-0. They went wild with it, and Houston wasn't able to get set. They lined up for the penalty kick here. Try to get some remnants of points. Tony Jean getting set while the wind in his back. Oh, excuse me, that's Fontano. No, I just messed that name up, so I do apologize. And his kick goes a little wide and out of play. So Houston had an opportunity there to get 3 on the board, but kick sails wide after the penalty. We have a couple of substitutions here. Back in the game for Fort Worth is Ryan Higgins, as he missed a few minutes getting some treatment. Looked like a little cut on his head, and he's ready to go. Houston, they take it across the halfway line, and a nice hard hit to Derek Paul. He's able to get up. Back it goes. Houston has it. They get set here with 3:53 left here in the first half. 12-0 our score. Fort Worth on top of this one. Just trying to get on the board. Out wide, plenty of running room. Got 1 man to beat on the right side, and he's going to get it for the try for Houston. As he finally decides to touch it. And then for the try for Houston on a breakaway play on the far side. Nobody was able to get a hand on him. And that's the first 5 on the board for Houston as they trail this one 12-5.
Great job, man.
Plenty of running room. Give this kicker a favor, setting him up for a middle chip. Took that one. Was 60 meters for the score. And the conversion is good. So Houston cuts into the lead. They now trail this one by 5, 12-7. 2 minutes and about 15 seconds to go here in the first half. So pretty quickly with the momentum shifting here towards Houston's way. See if they can tie it up or quite possibly take the lead here. As they'll try to maintain possession and run out the clock. Okay, it's not going to go 10 meters. Kicking in into the wind and blows it back. It's going in that direction, but blew it back by another 5 meters. We're at the scrum here, halfway in midfield. Follows in and plays it back. Jarrett keeps it, goes right with it up the middle and fights his way for a few meters. Ball comes out. He's going to try to get it down deep for this last push here as time is going to expire here in the first half. And he gets it to go where he wants it, inside the 22, so we'll get the throw in at that spot.
Hey, Hart, look where we are! Let's go! Yeah, play
Time continues to go. In the first half, Houston gets possession of it. Ball stays strong. And it looks like Houston might lose possession of this one as ball goes Houston's way, still maintaining possession on the right side. Push down. This will be Houston's last push here in the first half. Ball selling wide. Picked up by Derek. Cuts back towards the middle. Tries to make one move, still on his feet. And he's twisted down. He's coming with on the near side over to Justin Reed. Cuts back up the middle. Take it down. Looks like he's about 10 meters out. And we'll get the stop, and that's going to do it for the first half. Fort Worth leads this one by a score of 12-7 over Houston, and Houston made a late comeback to get on the board. Go ahead and stay with us. We're going to keep the cameras rolling. We're going to turn down the mics, but we're still here, and we'll be back for a second half action between Fort Worth and Houston in the Texas Rugby Union Division IV Men's Championship. All right, welcome back to Keller Sports Park. We get set to go underway for the second half. Fort Worth leading this one by a score of 12-7. We flip sides now. Get ready to go here.
Yeah. We good there?
Yeah.
I have the
Got
water
Stuart
key,
Rogers
my
Brown
phone.
joining me,
I'm looking
chiming in with some of the
I don't think nobody made any.
ins and outs of what's going on in the field.
I'll just
Fort Worth
There's
tries to maintain it. Ball goes short. And up the middle with this Robert Larson. Does he get a stoppage of play?
Yeah, that's for the player on the ground not rolling away, allowing the other team to play the ball. Rugby is about giving everybody a fair chance.
So they're going to go for the line out here to get better field position. Inside, looks like inside the 22, just outside the 22.
Yeah, typically the wind blows very hard here in one direction. So it's a game of halves.
I know the first half, Fort Worth couldn't get out of their zone at all, trying to kick it out. Go about 5 to 10 meters before it went out.
Yeah, exactly. It's really when you play into the wind, you can kick it low and hard, but you're not going to make much distance. So it's really a running game that you have to play.
I noticed that too in the passing game. When they try to go out wide with it, the ball just kind of dies. So Houston's going to come away with this possession.
Yeah, and they have to run it, so Fort Worth are aware that they're going to run, but overcommitted too many people there.
Out wide with it.
Yeah, he
Derek
should
Paul on
be
the
right.
outside, and he's going to be to the races with this one. And he's in there for the touch. And we got a tie game here, as Houston was able to break outside with it. Fort Worth wasn't able to get the numbers down there to stop that possession. So 38 minutes in, Houston ties the score at 12, and we'll try to tack on 2 more. Got nice speed on the outside. That's how they got that score before the end of the first half. Kicking it into the wind is going to be Glenn. As we saw Fort Worth trying it from this side. Wasn't too successful as that ball favors the right side. So let's see if he can fight the wind and get the conversion here.
And as the ball travels left to right, the wind will pick it up and push it further out.
That went too wide out as the wind actually died down on that kick. I think he overcompensated for it. So no conversion for Houston. Kind of does the opposite of that.
Yeah.
So Houston out with it. Tries to go back up the middle. Fort Worth does have to be leery of their outside play, as that's how they got the 2 scores here. Trickery tries to go inside. Ball over to Justin Reed. He's taken down. Out wide, not held on by Houston, but finally picked up. And hard collision there. It was picked up by Mitch Pedler. He got the first score of the game for Houston. He's taken down.
Good job, man. Hitch, good job, man.
Kicks it in deep off the car. And now just past the halfway line. So we'll get a line in for Houston. They haven't been winning too many of these. Fort Worth's been coming away with most of their throw-ins.
Yeah, I was just going to say the Fort Worth are cheating in the line out, and the ref has actually told them to step wider, so they opened up the gap.
Is that how they came away with a few of those in the first half?
Yeah, the ball gets thrown down the middle of the line out, and if the players cheat into the inside a little bit, in other words, taking up the space in the middle, then obviously they had a distinct advantage.
Well, we tried to strip the ball away on that one, but couldn't cleanly get it. So Houston maintains possession. With the pitch on the out. Back over to the wing, and he's taken down. Houston begins their push. They'll try to go the other way. And get a kick. Looks like Fort got a piece of that. Ball still loose on the ground.
Yeah, should have actually been a penalty there. The guy was on the ground on his knees playing the ball. Not really allowed to do that. You've got to be on your feet today with the new rules.
At the middle of the Christian. It's brought down. He's out with it. Tries to go wide with it. Fort Worth wins possession. Let's see what happened there. And dropped by Fort Worth, picked up by Houston as they go on the attack on the far side. Ball's loose again on the ground. And down to the outside is Houston. Just outside the 22. They fight their way inside. Trying to take the lead here with 32 minutes to go in the second half of the TRU championship game between Fort Worth and Houston. As Houston gets set up. Coming towards the near side. Nice hit out wide to Watt alone on the outside, and that's going to be a score for number 15, Derek Paul, as nobody was on him, and he was able to get the easy 5.
Yeah, Houston's been playing really well into the wind. They've been holding the ball, retaining possession, creating ruck after ruck. I think they went through probably about 8 or 9 phases there, and just tied out the Fort Worth guys, and there was nobody there to defend on the outside.
Seems like everybody's cheating towards the middle on that one. But yeah, they're really dominating with that outside play. So 17-12 our score here. Houston Athletic Rugby Club leading this one, trying to take home the first ever D4 men's championship, which will be presented after this game. And we'll get a kick from the near side, trying to tack on the extra 2. Derek Paul's second try of the game, as once he gets space, I don't think anybody from Fort Worth can really catch up to him.
You know, defending's really tough, and it requires a special mindset to keep defending. And when you defend in the heat like this, real tough to stay focused.
It's a little warm just for us sitting down here. I can imagine how much, you know, the heat's taking a toll on them.
Absolutely.
Play after play. It's usually when you see the mistakes happening, is when you get mentally tired and drained, you just kind of lax in your position.
Yeah, as you get more tired, the less oxygen getting to your brain, and you're not able to think clearly. That's why it's so important to train hard as a rugby player. It's a game that you have to think full 80 minutes.
Forward gets ready for the kick. And just makes it past 10, hanging high, picked up. The far side. Houston gets set up. Fort Worth has to be thinking about Houston's outside attack as they've already scored twice on it. And again over here back to Paul Mitchell. Can't get him on the first tackle as he's brought down pretty hard. Back up on his feet. Houston didn't really make control, didn't get possession of that one.
Ref indicating a high tackle there.
A little close to his neck, wasn't it?
Yeah, rugby over the years has really worked very hard to make the game much safer. It's a very physical game, but we have really a limited amount of concussions in the game today, and largely due to the rules around the way people tackle today.
I know NFL squads are not going to rugby coaches that teach tackling drills during preseason.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, they've been hesitant to move, but I think it's really a smart thing to do because, you know, I know there's a lot of technology that goes into the helmets, but at the end of the day, you get hit on your head and shake your brain. Even with a helmet, you get concussed. So I think it's a very good thing for them to do, and it will change the game slightly, but I don't think detrimentally.
I think it's a game if you have a kid that's interested in football. I think it's a sport that rugby is a sport you should see about getting your kid in playing so they can learn the proper techniques of tackling. Well, just the culture in rugby is also so different to any other sport. You know, it's a sport that you leave it all on the field, you shake hands afterwards, you know, socialize afterwards. So there's no animosity between players after the game, and it's a wonderful sport. And right around the world, I mean, kids start playing at the ages of 6 and 7 years old, barefoot rugby, and move up older. And there's different categories that protect the players, so they don't really play like the men play as juniors. But it's just a wonderful game for everybody to enjoy. You know, Timber's got a flair, especially in this sport. I mean, you're sitting out there pounding on each other for 80 minutes. Looks like Fort Worth is trying to maintain possession as two players fight for it. Yeah, I think you can see the conditioning in the two sides. Fort Worth is starting to walk, especially their tight forwards, the big heavy blokes, starting to walk a little bit. You know, obviously the other side doing very, very well, still keeping up with the play and getting numbers to the breakdown, which is critical. Yeah, it's never a good sign when you got your hands on your hips and you're gasping for air out there. Yeah. We're going to have another line in. Let's see who has it. We just got some contact lens changing to going on there. No, it's a little cut on the head. That didn't happen. I know they had Fort Worth had somebody on the sideline getting some attention, but yeah, the head bleeds very, very profusely, and obviously it usually looks way worse than what it is. Yeah, but I'm sure he'll be fine and back in any moment now. Once they stop the bleeding, they're allowed back on the field. Rugby also allows you to substitute that player while he's getting treatment. He's got 10 minutes to do so. Okay, for the injury, so he can come back in after, after 10 minutes. Or if he, within 10 minutes. Yeah, within 10 minutes, yeah. Fort Worth put the line out. That's going to go away of Houston. They maintain possession. Right down towards the middle. Good quick ball back to them, enables them to run hard at the Fort Worth defenders. We're going to get a couple of substitutions here for Fort Worth shortly. Get some fresh legs out there, as you were talking about the conditioning to being tired. You got to get fresh legs if you can't sit out there too long. Houston's been having it away, and again, Houston in there. Yeah, another score by Houston. So 5 more for Houston. 23-12. 22-12. As I work on my math. 24 to go here in the second half of the Texas Rugby Union Division 4 Championship. As Fort Worth got off to an early 12-0 start, looked like they were going to do some damage here, but Houston quickly turned it around and have gone on a 22-0 run since Fort Worth took the lead. As we get set for the conversion, Fort Worth is going to be subbing in 3 of their own players. It's like Paul Thomas, Josh Parker, and Isaiah Thompson is going to join the match.
Yeah, and you got number 23 there, Bots Hewlin.
Actually, Bots Hewlin is 23.
Yeah.
Updated roster. Liv Potnot gets ready for the conversion. He hasn't been successful on the outside today.
You know, with this kick, he's kicking from the other side. Should be a little bit more successful because he's kicking, he didn't make the distance. But as you kick with the right leg, you curl it into the wind, so the wind pushes it less. So their last conversion, they pushed it right across the goal face. This they can curve actually in between the poles, so he wasn't able to do that though, however.
So the score stays 22-12. Time continues to run down on the Fort Worth if they want to make any comeback in this game, as they gotta sub out a few of their players. Ian Wilder and Darden Ishmael comes off, as well as Brian Martin, who's the big man in the middle. Looks like they're going with a little slimmer of a set out there for Fort Worth. So back with it is Houston, as they've had success on their last 2 possessions here in the second half. Putting up 10 points so far in the second half. They try to work around the other way and get a whistle. With it.
Yeah, the ref's just not happy with the scrum being settled down there. He's obviously thinking something's going on that shouldn't be going on. Maybe one of the sides are pushing early or turning up in the front row. That's when they push on one side and pull back on the other side to cause a rotation of the scrum. You can do that to a small degree, maybe 45 degrees, but they don't like that swinging all the way around through the 90.
Fort Worth comes away with it.
Yeah, their number 8, Fort Worth, a good number 8, a lot of experience there at the back. His pickup is clean and he runs hard.
Still with it, pushing forward still. Fort Worth is trying to get back in this one, down by 10.
That's always very interesting, the tackled ball today. So many laws around that, but the ref obviously felt that Fort Worth were tackled and they weren't allowed to play the ball back. So the tackled player didn't release, the tackler didn't release the tackled player, and they get penalised for that.
I guess you kind of get into it. You don't know when, if he's still moving like that, when to let go. If he's still going to push forward, you're still going to push back on him.
Yeah, once he's on the ground, if he gets up and runs, he gets penalised. So you know, if you hold him on the ground and then he has to actually release the ball to play it. So he can stand straight up, release the ball, stand straight up and play it.
Yeah! Keep it up, work!
Oxford's doing a lot of hard work here. just averted a try on the right on the try line, but Fort Worth seemed to have scored again now.
Yeah, Fort Worth got in on that one. Good hard push by Fort Worth. They're back on the board, 17-22. Still plenty of time left in this one. 19 to go in the second half. He'll be left with an easier, I should say, conversion with the win at his back.
Yeah, and it comes straight down the pitch. He's almost in front of the pole, so you know there's no wind blowing left or right across the pole, so it should be a pretty easy kick for him.
Another substitution for Houston. It's like Thomas Ball is coming in.
Yeah, a little bit of consternation from the Houston guys under the poles, telling the substitute not to come on. Looks like their player's back up and running again. He was down for a little bit.
Yeah, behind the. Oh, I didn't say behind the post there. The conversion was good. Makes it 19-22. 18 minutes to go. Fort Worth gets set to get the ball back and try to swing the momentum back in their way. We were talking about Fort Worth kind of gasping at air in that last drive. They looked like they caught their second win as they were able to just kind of put their head down and push into the zone and score.
Yeah, I think a lot of what's happening is that the wind is certainly playing into Fort Worth's favour. Anytime Houston make a mistake, the ball goes backwards, and Fort Worth are allowed to push up onto the ball.
Barely going to make it. Looked like it made it past 10.
Yeah, it did.
Houston picks it up. I mean, that was right on the line. Houston gets possession as Fort Worth pushes them back on the far side.
A lot more activity by Fort Worth in the loose rucks and mauls, so that's going to help them.
So Houston back with it. Trying to add some security points here with 17 to go. They maintain the push forward. Get a stoppage.
Houston's in like there for not releasing the ball on the ground. And again, that's a tackled area, very difficult. Little talk back from the Houston guys, unfortunately. Referee advances at 10 yards.
So he gave an extra 10 yards for that talking back. I saw one of the Houston guys trying to say he was being pushed down.
Yeah. Being a great game, and you know, I think the disciplined players learn in rugby, and the teamwork and respect for people in authority, I think is a wonderful thing for the sport, often not spoken about enough.
Yeah, I've been just learning this game, and it's a whole different community. It's a different feel compared to other games. I mean, earlier they had the Pop Warner football teams going, and it's just like aggressive yelling the whole time at both sides.
Pretty much like a circus, no one knows what's going on. Everybody's shouting, and everybody knows better. And it looks like Fort Worth are getting on top of their play. Oh,
there goes. He's gone.
That's a penalty there, big penalty, and he's probably going to be penalised for that as well. Maybe even reprimanded.
Who was it, Derek Paul?
Yeah, unfortunately you're not allowed to hit the ball down. It's bad sportsmanship, so he may get spoken to. It doesn't look like. I think they're just ruling it was a knock-on.
He was able to maintain that when he had a clean break.
Yeah, often that results in a yellow card. The referee deems that to be a sort of unfair conduct on the defensive player knocking the ball down. He must have made a big effort to try and catch it.
So Fort Worth still trying to push down by 3 in this one with 14 to go. So we try to get set up for the scrum here down and deep into Houston zone. Away with this full Woods, trying to go wide with it. Middle. Woods brought down. Just able to penetrate on that ruck down there.
Yeah, Fort Worth are playing much better rugby at the moment. Recycling the ball quickly, committing the Houston players in.
Yeah, I noticed that they've been able to control it when they get in that ruck and then they're able to pop the ball out pretty quickly. That's when they've been successful at it.
Yeah, Hawks seem to have lost their form. They're not getting back in time. They're not being at the disciplined side they were in the first half, and in the first part of the second half. Yeah, I think they're going to kick this penalty, which, if successful, will result in 3 points.
So Logan Legg, aptly named Legg, is going to try to tie it up here. That one is through.
Square.
So we got a tied up game at 22 with 12 to go. And as you've been mentioning, we've seen Fort Worth with a major shift in momentum and just, you know, breath of fresh air. They got 3 fresh legs in there.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the bench change that they made, bringing on some of their substitutes 20 minutes ago, has certainly made a big difference to Fort Worth. You saw the guys coming off. A lot of them were completely exhausted, and they're now able to compete properly at the breakdowns and not allow themselves to be run ragged like they were being.
Takes a toll on you out there. Picked up by Robert Larson. He pushes his way up. Finally brought down. Forward's going to try to go wide with it here again. Thought he had a breakaway on that one.
I think he got a little turned around in the tackle there and tried to play the ball back, resulting in the ball going forward, because that's one thing you want to try and keep to a minimum on the rugby field, is throwing the ball around aimlessly. So I think he was rather turned in the tackle and sort of lost a little bit of direction on the field.
We're going to get a scrum here for Houston.
Houston have basically split their back line, gives them an option to run both left and right. They're probably going to go left.
Unable to hold on to the ball. Forward's going to kick it out.
Yeah, sadly that was poor execution there, and they had a really good opportunity to run, and they threw that one away.
A lot of low passes for Houston. When they've been able to set up that outside play, it's been going for them.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I think also what's happened now with Fort Worth, with their players not as gassed as what they were, they're able to let their forwards do the work at the breakdowns, which will keep their backline players out and allow their backline players to defend the way they should be able to. I think Fort Worth being penalised for going over the ball, not allowing Houston to play the ball. Again, another breakdown rule that it's a really very strict area, that part of the game, because that's really where the game continues to keep going forward.
Yeah, you just want to keep the game moving at a nice pace. You keep doing these offside penalties, or it kind of slows down the momentum of the game, and just it's kind of hard to watch and follow if you get a lot of stoppage plays of penalties happening. We'll get a substitute for Fort Worth.
So the line out is actually a very interesting play. team throwing in the ball, if they execute their line out properly, should almost always win their ball. So it does favour the team putting the ball in, and it's what we call first phase. It's primary restart of the game, and there's not many teams that tackle for today. A lot of teams go and create a second, third, fourth phase, but it's a great platform with which to attack.
I can see if you're able to win it every time, you can get a quick play out of that, catch them off balance.
Yep, absolutely. You know, both the scrum, which you just watched now, and the line out, the opposition has to be 10 yards behind, so you've got quite a lot of ground to play with. If you look now, the ruck ball, they can stand on the back foot of the last player at the ruck, so they're a lot closer to the opposition in this phase of play. So it's much more difficult to make ground in this phase.
It went backwards, so it's not a dime.
Just over 7 minutes left to go. We're still knotted up at 22 for the Texas Rugby Union Championship between Fort Worth and Houston. And the ball goes outside. And it looks like it's going to be a try for Houston.
Ref blew the whistle there. He said the ball was lost. This game but you have to pass it, the ball goes backwards, or we accept that it goes horizontally, but you can't pass it forward.
Picking up here. We're in Keller, Texas at Keller Sports Park.
We could have it. We could have it done. 7 minutes left.
Fort Worth with it. They're going to try to push it to the right side. And play in field position. Kicks it down deep. Derek Paul chases it. And that's going to go out.
Yeah, that's a terrible mistake. Yeah, he has to come all the way back to where he kicked the ball. Because he kicked the ball outside his 22, so he's got to come all the way back. And there'll be a put in there for... And that looks like they elected to take the scrum from where he kicked.
He just picked the wrong time to kick it. That's when the wind picked up and that ball just sailed.
Yeah, well, he just kicked it straight downfield. He didn't angle it. You're supposed to angle it for the corners, and then the ball goes out in the corner, and you can compete at the line out there. You're right down the bottom, but a kick like that just is no good.
All right. Time continues to run here. We inch closer to a tie game, 22-22. Fort Worth wins it out on the right side. Back up the middle with it is Logan Legg. It's into the Houston zone. Pushes his way up the middle. Here comes Fort Worth with it. A dummy pass. Tries to go in the middle, but he's brought down before he can make a move on it. With a slow push.
Yeah, the referee indicated they're not releasing the tackled man. Yeah, he could have penalised Houston for a number of things. The second one would have been, using your hands in the ruck. They pulled the ball out with their hands, and that's also not allowed. So, looks like Fort Worth are going to have a long shot at goal here. See if they can break this deadlock game.
He's got to have the leg with it. He's just got to maintain it straight.
Yeah, exactly.
4 minutes to go here, 22-22.
Yeah, he's a strong little player, this gentleman kicking the ball. He has a tendency just to maybe not concentrate as much as maybe he should.
High enough and long enough. He's got it. The Bulwark takes the lead with 3 minutes to go. 25-22 on the penalty kick. Nice kick by Logan Legg.
Yeah, nice 50-meter kick with the wind behind it.
That helps you out sometimes, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's going to be really, has to be a disciplined, determined last couple of minutes for Hark if they hope to pull this out, because the wind's not in their favour. All Fort Worth has to do is just keep kicking the ball into the open space behind them, and it's going to be difficult for them.
So if this is your team with the 3-point lead with 3 minutes to go, that's what you're doing there, just kind of pinning them back?
Kick the ball down.
Take possession?
They're going to the line out even for them on down in their half. Unfortunately, just knocked the ball on there, so at worst case scenario, it'll be a scrum for Houston.
We have the advantage right now.
Yeah, he's going to come back for that.
They want to drop balls this game. So possession is a big deal right now with 2 minutes to go, especially in your own zone like that.
Yeah, this is a Division 4 game, so it's really designed to introduce players to the sport. I see a lot of really good, talented players out there. So it seems like it's a bit of a mix, but I think a lot of clubs use it to bring in new guys and new players to the sport, which is a very positive thing to do.
That's how you grow any sport. You just get as much people as you can into it. And he's just making a last-ditch effort out wide to Mitchell. The wheels on the team. As he gets to the outside, pushed out.
Yeah, line out to Fort Worth on the 22.
He just got him out at the 22, so big line out here for Fort Worth with time ticking. So you say if they win this line out, just kick it on down?
Yeah, that's ideally what they want to do. Just get it out of their half. There's no way Houston can kick it back against this wind, so they have to run it back. So as long as Fort Worth put the pressure on them, they should stay in their half.
Ball's in, one by Fort Worth. See if they do exactly that. They try to get it wide. Drops the ball. Picked up by Houston. And that's Matthew Creed who just comes into the game.
Yeah, be a scrum down to Houston again now, so opportunity for them to run back at Fort Worth. Again, a lack of concentration there. The ball was right into his gut. He should have taken that one.
So it's going to be a big possession for Houston with the time winding down, so it's probably going to be the last possession here of the game. Fort Worth ahead of this one 25-22 for the first annual D4 division, championship.
Yeah, the referee actually, the clock that we have there is a running clock, so it continues to run, but the referee's probably got a minute or two, maybe even longer, for the injuries that we had. People with, cuts on their head and things like that. So
Stop time. So the time expired now, so Houston's going to get a last crack at it. Matthew picks it up. Ball's loose. Houston can't touch it. Loose ball, and Fort Worth's going to get it. We are in extra time now. Got a player down for Houston on the far side. That's Derek Paul, who has 2 tries in the game, favoring his right calf, knee area. Fort Worth's just going to kick it in, line it out.
that's it.
That's going to do it.
For Fort Worth.
So Fort Worth is going to be your Division 4 men's champions as they win this one 25-22. So they'll take home the championship trophy in the first ever championship game for D4 men's division.
Yeah, good win for Fort Worth. Great history here in the DFW area. Over a number of years, been a good first division side over the years, and now playing a second division side and a fourth division side, and a nice win for them, something for them to cherish.
Plenty to celebrate tonight.
Yeah, couple of cold ones.
Yep, got them set up behind us right now. Houston had a hard-fought game, down 12-0 early in this one, able to fight back and actually take the lead.
Yeah, I think when you look at the game in a nutshell, I think Houston didn't take advantage of the win in the first half. There was minimal kicking by the Houston team, so they could have used the win a lot more, and Fort Worth really used the win to their advantage, and I think that's really the difference in the game.
So Fort Worth wins this one 25-22. That's going to be the first game today. We do have a game following this one. It's going to be the Division III Women's Exhibition between, I don't have my schedule in front of me, Dallas Harlequins and Bay Area. That'll be brought to you here on the YouTube channel for the Texas Rugby Union site as they do the trophy presentation. So stick around with us. We've got a full slate of rugby action going on all day and into the evening. We'll be back at 5 o'clock. I don't know what time it is right now. 5:01. We'll be back in approximately about 10 minutes as they clear the field here for the championship trophy presentation and as the women get set to warm up. So for Stuart Rogers, Browns, thank you for joining us. And,
yeah, thanks, Jay. It's been good. Thank you. See you
here.
guys later today.
Mike Davis, you're listening to True Rugby Championship on KMAX Sports.